Hello everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Today we're going to be talking about the behind the scenes, and this is a collection of behind the scenes from when we filmed this Gangster short film. We shot this on a Canon M50, and it was really fun to shoot. We had an awesome group of friends that helped us cast and crew, and in this first scene, this is going to be a collection of scenes, but in this first scene, also, the behind the scenes is shot on a retro camcorder. I just love the way that looks. It gives it such a fun feel. I'm doing a really cool side-by-side here. I love side-by-sides. But in this scene, basically, this guy is driving up and he's mad at the other guy for losing a poker scene. So I was really happy how this did turn out. Going back, I think I would change a few things, and we have him carrying off him on camera here. But a few things of maybe moving the camera, pushing in for action. But at this point, we only had a dinky camera and a dinky tripod. But this is showing that you can get a lot done just with that. So again, here's the side-by-side of how we set that up. In all action scenes, and especially in this movie, A Vendetta's Debt, which is a short film again, this was actually made last year, so if you're not familiar, the last two vlogs were about this movie too. Just trying to catch up on showing off what I've done in these vlogs so you can get an idea of what it was like to make the films. Just so you know, I do know more things than when we shot this at the time, if that makes sense. But this is the full scene here. And just showing, like what I was saying, just because you have a non-cinema camera that's only $600, $700, you can get a great look with good color grading, good editing, and a lot of setup time. And obviously, very blessed to have all these people part of the team. I love the look of A Vendetta's Dead. I think it's and the sound. I think it's the best parts of the film. But right here, that action, it looks pretty believable. And with sound design and music, everything's a lot more intense. But that's a little tip here. If you're going to do action, cut on the action. That's something I learned in this movie. It might not be the best way to do it, having a moving camera and cutting with the action, or just having a setup for the actual, I don't know necessarily the correct terms to say it, but setting up like not a body double, but someone to stand there and fake the punch. Okay, so we've been on this photo for a little bit now. This is at the beach where we shot the next scene here, and only a little bit of BTS. The lighting was okay. This is the final scene now. It did turn out pretty good. The LUT we used on this was an orange and teal LUT, which yes is an overused LUT, but at the same time, when everyone's saying don't use it, it's almost the right time to use it because no one starts using it then. I think it worked really well here. It was a LUT that I changed the color a little bit, but I think it really pulled out the best looks. And combined with this, there was also a grain overlay, and it gave a really cool look. Okay, the next scene I'm going to talk about is the basement meeting scene. This is one of my favorite action scenes. There's me right there. I do think I look pretty cool. I do not recommend using cigarettes in the basement because it will stink everything up. But that's okay. Live and learn. Sam and I right there, that's the team where we make all of our movies together, and we co-directed this, and you can hear he was the voice earlier at the beginning, but Sam did such a good job in this scene. As you'll see, some of our props here to kind of give that more gritty look. We just shot with a LED light and that Canon M50 right there. Two lights, one light coming from the window, and the other was just a faint orange light to give some depth. But this scene looks really, really polished to me. And if you look at it, it does have this cool feel. And it feels dynamic. Right there, I love the shadows on my face. I think it turned out so well. The smoke coming up. We actually had someone holding a cigarette below it to blow smoke up. And coming up is going to be one of my favorite action scenes of the whole movie. Something cool about making a short film is if you can fit in action, it's really cool. So freeze frame right here. You guys don't know what's going to happen. Unless you've seen the film, you have no idea what's going to happen here. And what's going to happen is this cigarette's about to fly into Sam's eye. I'm about to take the cigarette and stab it in his eye. And this took a lot. We had Kamari down there. He was one of the actors in the bottom right, making sure that the angle and colors were right. I set up this wide angle shot here of what I needed to make it look like Sam's getting stabbed in the eye without you seeing. So like the sound design there was actually using celery, this noise of celery crunching, tomatoes getting squished to sound like an eyeball, as gross as that sounds. But sound design is so important for your film. So trying to incorporate good sound design is almost crucial to an action scene, the sounding right and being right. And in this next photo, Sam there, this is after, so you're getting a little spoiler, but this is the full scene. Look, having it hold there for a little bit, that was a little bit tricky. So what Sam and I needed to do there was basically giving a lot of space to saying, I'm going to hold it here. You just hold my hand and we'll just shake a lot. We'll put a lot of emphasis on the movement combined with the sound, combined with everything. It does just feel very like it is almost really happening. And I really encourage you to watch this full film. It is very bold for what it was. This gangster film, I don't recommend doing a gangster film, but at the same time, I kind of do recommend you do something really bold like this because you realize what you can't do yet. You realize how good filmmakers really are, because our film, the story was rough. I wrote this. It was an out of order story because I freshly just watched a Tarantino movie. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to tell a non-narrative story here. And I don't think that was the correct move at all. A lot of people are confused. If you do watch the movie, you'll realize it is out of order. And this is, if your first video of watching me, vlog 2 and vlog 3 also talk about this movie of the behind the scenes. So if you love everything of Vendetta's Dead, I think you should definitely check out those as well. This scene was really fun for me. I thought it looked really cool. This next scene, we went outside and we were preparing for this next shoot. There unfortunately isn't a ton of BTS here, but we're out in a field. That's Sam's grandpa right there because we had a shotgun. We used a real shotgun to break glass. And here's just some photos of us kind of being goofy guys on set, because that's what Sukavision's all about, having a fun time while making fun movies. Yeah, but Vendetta's Dead is really fun to make. So that was this is the final frames from this movie. If you watch the full movie, you'll actually get to see the gun shoot. You'll get to see the glass break, the close-up, and everything. I think it's worth seeing. Okay, so this next part, we were at a church for this. Sam's dad knew a pastor of this church, and he allowed us to use this awesome, beautiful space that turned into something really awesome. So I freshly watched The Godfather before writing this. This is actually the inspiration for this movie, is me seeing The Godfather. And I was so captivated by the Catholic baptism scene and how that contrasted life and death so well, of someone is experiencing something in the church, which is considered life, but at the same time, people are getting killed, and that is such a harsh contrast. So in the final film, you'll notice my character goes to the church, and in that final scene, you'll see a lot of kills being made and people being, killed in it, and stuff happening while my character's at church. And there is a twist at the end of this movie. It's told, you can pretty much pick up the pieces of the puzzle if you have seen like a Tarantino movie before. But again, short films aren't meant to be something that makes you think a ton. So maybe that was an innovation, maybe it wasn't. I am really proud of this movie. I do think it turned out really good. It was exactly what I pictured it to be, almost better. Here's the final frame from the church. Used a lot of vignettes and masking. There was the lights are actually hidden in the bottom right and bottom left of this to put more light on the stage. And then this is outside the church. This is where the twist happens. Little clue if you're lost while watching the movie. Remember that this is the same car that we saw at the beginning. That's all I'm going to say. ... So if you've seen that movie, or if you are enjoying this video or these group of vlogs, please in the comments let me know. You can check out all the movies on the website. So we had a custom score for this movie as well. Ignore all the goofy photos. We figured out in Google you can put photos behind yourself. So Surf's Up was something that all three of us, that's Leo Wall in the top right, an awesome composer. He was actually 16 or 17. I can't remember when he made this. I was 18. Sam was 19, who's in the top left. And Leo did the entire score from this. The score is the brightest point of this movie, I think. The visuals were great, but in the end, it was the score that was amazing. The score is booming. It's powerful. We used a lot of emphasis on, I love John Williams, and I love how John Williams brings back that sound. So you'll realize in the score, a lot of the same tones are used, just either higher with more instruments or less instruments. Things come back. And in the official soundtrack, you can really hear all of these elements. In each scene, the score really works wonderfully in unison. And Leo did such an amazing job of capturing my goal. This is the final poster for A Vendetta's Debt. This has been the final video for A Vendetta's Debt. Actually, the next group of vlogs is going to talk about Sorrow's Grave, which is a sequel to a short film. Yeah, that's pretty bold, but so is A Vendetta's Debt. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.